Welcome, conquistadors, to Round Like Me. I am Scotty, the Chunky Spaniard, and we are in our third and final installment of Talkin' About Tattoos. Yes, this is part 3, the finale. Thank you for those of you that have gone on this 3-week journey with us. And if you are new, welcome. You get to see the final arm, this one, of my tattoos. If you want to go back and check those out, that's part 1 and part 2. I'll have links to those. And make sure the three things to remember when getting a tattoo, in my opinion, would be to wait. Okay, sometimes we make ridiculous decisions just because we want something. And number 2, find a real artist. And number 3, location. You do not want a tattoo preventing you from getting the job of your dreams or having the career that you have so desperately wanted all of your life. Like this, YouTubing. Okay? So, because of that, like, share, subscribe. Thank you for those of you that have journeyed over from Fine Brothers and React channels. They are amazing over there. And I just thank you guys for coming over if you came from there. If you randomly found me by just searching for stuff on YouTube, which happened during the last video. Some people commented and said, hey, I was just searching YouTube and I totally just stumbled upon you. This is great. And I was like, what? So if you randomly stumbled across me on the internet, love you guys. So thank you. Here is the 3rd episode. Enjoy. You'll get to see a different Johnny Cupcakes shirt than this one. This is the Samoa's one. And we'll see you later on. And then all of a sudden, surprise, we're having a 3rd. And Mini Hulk was born. And he had somewhat of a little speech delay. And would growl and turn red at the dinner table a lot. And was always quite angry. So it was very fitting to name him Mini Hulk. But this arm was taken out, so what do? You get the Hulk on your other shoulder. Can you see that? So I've got the Hulk on my shoulder. And then I was like, well, what the heck, man? I love these things. Let's go for it. So I call up Greg and I'm like, let's do this, man. Because he's been asking me, are you going to do full sleeves? And I was like, I don't know. So I was like, let's go for it. So this past winter, went in, because Greg's really busy now because he's so good, and got Batman.
I've been seeing things for how they really been. And I can see it in your eyes, and still you call yourself my friend.
We're just going to do a superhero sleeve. Oh, I forgot one. Okay, so after the Hulk, then I was like, well, I still wanted to do something because the Hulk is kind of raging, and he can kind of be breaking walls and stuff, and I'm like, I know it's going to be very unpopular, but Superman has always been my favorite ever since I was a little kid. One of my favorites. I've always been a DC guy. Sorry, Marvel people. I had an X-Men comic growing up. I should say, growing up, I had primarily DC. All my underoos were DC. If you don't know what underoos were, they were a t-shirt and matching underwear that little kids got in a package all the time. But still, I still held on to the Superman, Batman, Flash, Aquaman, all of those things that I had. So I loved comics. So I'm like, let's do a superhero sleeve. So after Hulk, then we went to, and I'll have to show a better picture of this, but then we went to Superman, and you can't really tell, but it's a wall breaking on my chest, and then it goes to the Superman suit. And I'm like, let's continue this. So Greg's like, what do you want? I'm like, I'm thinking Batman. What can we do? And so we did the kind of like a Batarang with Batman's reflection in it. You can't really see it all that well. There it is. And bats behind him. And I'm like, we'd always been wondering about the elbow. And I'd thrown out like Captain America's shield. That would have been cool to have on the elbow. And then all of a sudden it just hit me, and I'm like, what about Flash? Like, Flash is one of the most powerful like superheroes out there. People don't realize it. And so I went to Greg like a couple months ago, and I was like, okay, I've been really, really stressing about the elbow. What do you think about Flash? And he was like, whoa. He's like, yeah, let's take a look at it. And he's like, it won't distort that much, and it'll still look cool because you got the lightning bolt. Like, what do you want? I'm like, I want it like breaking through my elbow. And so he's like, awesome. So then we got the Flash logo breaking through on the elbow. We got more plans for the arm, but he is so booked that it's going to take some time. But those are my tattoos. Everybody's always asking about my tattoos. The tattoos tell a story. This arm is like Mini Hulk and my childhood. You know, I've got my musician side right up here. I've got my representing my wife, the Swedish Chef. She doesn't look like the Swedish Chef, so knock it off. But I got the Swedish Chef back here. I got Butters on the front. I got Lou right here. And I got Superman on the chest. So that's the story of the tattoos. Once again, guys, thank you so much for watching Round Like Me. Talking about tattoos, part 3. I really appreciate you guys sticking around and watching the full thing. If you got to this point, you are amazing. So make sure you tune in later this week. Yes, this coming week. And there may be some new stuff coming up. I have stuff planned, but you all know what happens when you have these grand plans in your head. I don't know if you've ever set out to like write this really detailed letter. You know, maybe it's to your favorite artist or musician, which is an artist, or, you know, person, which could also be an artist, because I don't know many robot artists. But have you ever sat down to write something out, and you think like you've got all these huge ideas in your head? You're like, okay, I've got all these things to say, and it comes out to like less than a paragraph, and you're like, what? Well, that's kind of what happens sometimes when you have all these great ideas for videos. I have a ton of ideas. I've been like storyboarding, something I've never done before, which is kind of cool. It makes me feel like I'm, you know, a TV executive. But I've got some really cool stuff planned. I hope it turns out good, and that you guys enjoy it. But stay tuned later on this week for some new material. Remember, Conquistadors, be a better person tomorrow than you were today, and we'll see you later. Adios.